Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can see that. And unfortunately, this appears that I'm the only one here on the class. Do you still want to carry on?
I don't know how these things work. I'm coming to the class for the first time. Is this where you stopped?
Sorry?
Is this where you stopped?
I missed the last class, Prabhuji, so I can't remember where, how far.
Yeah, I was
Vidvan
given that. I thought I was told that you stopped. You all stopped at 133.
Yeah, I missed the last class, so I'm not sure.
Okay. So normally, what is the format of the class?
He reads and goes through commentaries, and provides a little bit of sort of his own sort of input into it, Prabhuji. Are you going to be taking this regularly now?
Looks like.
Okay, there is quite low attendance on this class, generally speaking. I mean, it's on a few occasions I've been the only one, so.
Okay, so it's just that whoever comes, and then how many people come generally?
Between 2 and 4 generally. It's not many on this class.
Oh, okay.
It's quite low attendance for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Okay, so it is more like a self-study session. I've been wanting to read because Bhagavatamrita also. So anyway, you can utilize simply this opportunity to read Bhagavatamrita.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. You have any standard Mangalacharan?
Yes, Prabhuji.
What was that?
There's Guru Vandana and the Bhagavatam Mangalacharan.
Okay, probably we'll do Saragoswami Ashtakam. One stanza and then we'll do the normal Guru Vandana. Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno Sadharma Sanstapakau Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanyakaro Radha Krishna Padara Vinda Bhajana Nante Namattaliko Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Si Jiva Gopalako Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschaiya Deshtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangalangayate kripatam ham mande Shri Gurum Girtaranam Pramanandamavam Sri Chaitanya Mishram Kathanchana Smrite Yasmin Dushkaram Sukram Bhavet Smrite Pritam Syat Sri Chaitanyam Mamitam. Hare Krishna. So welcome to this class. So the class time is changed from 4 to 5:30 and Vidvan Prabhu asked me to take this class. So looks like I'll be taking this class for some time now. Probably till I finish this book. We'll follow more or less the same procedure. I have this book with commentaries by Gopipandan Prabhu. And his commentaries are closely following the Digdarshini Tika. So we'll read the Shloka translation, commentary, and we'll try to see if there is a small explanation which is needed. Otherwise, we'll just keep moving. And if you have any question, you can intervene at any time. There's not going to be a separate question answer time. If you have a question, if you are impelled to ask a question, just ask at any time. Udyatena graham gantum karandetena shayitam jagadesham vilokyarto vyalapam sasaram vidrisham. By the way, I'm not a Sanskrit expert as Vidvan Gauranga Prabhu. So don't expect Sanskrit explanations from me. Whatever is written, we can discuss on it. Udyatena, who was preparing Graham to go to his home, Gantum, to go Karanti in a box, Tena, by him, Shya like to rest, Jagadisham, the Lord of the universe, Vilokya, seeing, Arthaha, mentally pained, Vyalapam, I complained, Sa Ashram, tearfully, Idrisham, like this. Then the Brahmana, preparing to return home, lay the Lord of the universe to rest in a box. Pain to see this, I tearfully complained this way. So, the Brahmana was doing his Salagram Puja. Gopakumar has not seen Salagram before. The first time he is seeing Salagram. And he is very fascinated by the fact that the Brahmana is doing Salagram Puja. But the Brahmana is shutting his puja and then he is taking, which is normal. But Gopakumar was not satisfied. He was thinking, oh, why he's doing this? Why can't he just stop? So he is going to complain. Ahadakarandhantar astane asthane parameshwarah kim api asauna shabhuta nidratu shudaya katham. Haha, alas, alas. Tatah, put Karandrantaha inside a box. Asthane, in an unsuitable place. Parameshwaraha, Supreme Lord. Kimapi, even though Asau, he, na, not, cha, and Abhunta has eaten, Nidra, sleep too, but Shudaya, because of hunger, Katham, how? My God, we are putting the Supreme Lord in a box. Such an unfit place. He hasn't even eaten. How he will sleep if he is hungry? Commentary. Gopakumar thought that the little box is an ill-chosen place for the Lord of the universe. Told that being placed in such a box, what is done with the deity after worship to him is finished. Gopakumar replied that he had not seen the Brahmana making an offering of food substantial enough to satisfy the Lord's appetite, and the Lord should not be forced to sleep without first being fed. So, Gopakumar is in his own world. He has a different world. He's in that world. So for him, he cannot imagine that first of all, we can put Krishna in a box and then close him down. And then we'll not even feed him. So by nature, Gopakumar is used to personal dealings in the sense of intimate dealings. So he is unaware of Krishna's Aishwarya. So therefore, he has his own understanding of what is right and what is wrong. Okay. Prakrityaiva janami mathura brahmanottama asmat vilakshana kaschit vapi asti jagadishwaraha prakritya. By my conditioned nature, Iva, indeed, na janami, I did not understand. Mathura, from Mathura, Brahmanottama, oh, first class Brahmana. Asma, from this world, Vilakshanaha, different. Kaschit, someone. Kwa api, somewhere. Asti, there is Jagadishwaraha, the Lord of Universe. Oh, excellent Brahmana from Mathura. Because of my material conditioning, I was unaware that the Lord of the Universe is different from everyone and everything in this world. Commentary. Gopakumar was ignorant of the Supreme Person's transcendental nature. The Lord can enjoy himself everywhere simultaneously by expanding into an infinite number of forms. There's no reason to worry that he will go hungry because of one devotee's neglect. He may seem to be a small stone trapped in a box, but in fact, the Lord is unlimited. This is Aishwarya. The Lord is unlimited. He may seem as a very small stone, maybe sitting in a box, but he's present everywhere. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. There's no place where he's not there. This is Mahatmya Jnana. In network devotion, it's called as Mahatmya Jnana. That understanding the greatness of the Lord. But understanding the greatness of the Lord is necessary, because without understanding the greatness, one cannot appreciate the sweetness. The more we understand Krishna's greatness, the more we appreciate his sweetness. If we try to simply appreciate his sweetness without understanding his greatness, then we may not so much appreciate his sweetness, because it may look like nice dealings, but nice ordinary dealings. But when we understand the greatness of Krishna, and then we come down to his sweetness, then we can see that such a great person is so sweet. So that actually makes a big difference. So generally, that's why Prabhupada says that we should not try to enter the 10th canto before digesting the first 9 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. If that happens, then we may take the most sweetest dealings of Krishna as some ordinary dealings. Okay, he kills demons. Maybe he's powerful, so he kills demons. But otherwise, he's a nice, sweet boy. You may think like that. Vajrayana is also thinking like that. But that is because of covering of Yogamaya. Okay, he does something extraordinary, but he's a nice, sweet boy. He's our boy. They never thought that he's God. But because they had Kevala Prema, that works. But for a person who has material consciousness, that doesn't work, because a person in material consciousness, he tries to think that God is also like him. It is said, Atmavan Manyate Jagat. You just look at everybody like our own self. In one sense, here, Gopkumar is telling that that is his fault. He is looking at Krishna as like him. Oh, he'll become hungry, he'll become this. So Mahatmya Jnana is not there. Okay. Iti akritrima santapam vilapaturam abravit brahmana santavit santayitva mam dinavat vinayanvitaha. Iti, thus, akritrima, not artificial. Santapam, who's suffering. Vilapa, by lamentation. Aturam, who was agitated. Abravit, said. Brahmana, the Brahmana. Santayitva, consoling. Mam, me. Krinavat, shyly. Vinayanvitaha, full of humility. As I complained and suffered in my uncontrived lamentation, the Brahmana tried to console me. Full of humility, he shyly spoke. Commentary. The saintly Brahmana was ashamed of being too poor to feed even human guests, what to speak of Supreme Lord. And in fact, the place where he had now performed his worship simply had no facility for cooking. But the humility the Brahmana felt was not caused by any external circumstance. It was natural ecstasy of his individual type of love of Godhead. So, the Brahmana, when Gopakumar complained, he did not ignore him. He did not tell, okay, go. Don't speak like a fool. You don't know about the Lord. Mind your own business. He did not say like that. Rather, he saw that Gopakumar's concern was natural. So here he said, akritrima, not artificial. So he saw that this boy is really concerned that Krishna is not eating, Krishna is being put to sleep. Krishna is being taken in a box. This boy is really concerned. So therefore, he did not ignore that concern. Even though such concern was childish, he did not ignore that concern. What is the reason for not ignoring that concern? The reason for not ignoring that concern is Vinayan Vitaha. He was very humble. He was naturally humble. His humility, it actually gave him a sense of accountability. That's very important. Sometimes in spiritual life, when we don't have humility, then we may not find ourselves accountable. Somebody may express a genuine concern, a concern which is genuine from their perspective. It may not be not so genuine from our perspective. If you're not humble, we will not take the time to address that concern. We just tell that, oh, this was talking out of ignorance. Throw him and keep moving. Don't give him so much importance. But because the Brahmana was humble, and the concern which came from Gopakumar was genuine, so therefore, the Brahmana actually took time to address that concern. And that's very important. That's very important. And we see this quality in Prabhupada. Prabhupada is very humble. So his disciples were not very experts. In fact, they didn't know anything about Krishna consciousness. They didn't know anything about Krishna consciousness. And they had all sorts of crazy things to ask with Prabhupada. But Prabhupada addressed their concerns. And he taught them very patiently, because he knew that they may not be knowledgeable, but they're genuine. They're genuine. So therefore, the combination of these two is very good. That when a disciple is genuinely concerned and the spiritual master is humble, then the disciple gets immensely benefited. Immensely benefited. Therefore, as a preacher, we should be very humble. We should be very humble. Sometimes we may encounter people who may have some genuine concerns which may look very silly for us. It may not look significant for us. It may look very silly for us. So somebody may ask something which we think that, oh, what is this? Why he's asking this? But for him, it may be a big botheration. It may be a significant point. It may be a big botheration. And if we don't address it properly, he may simply carry it in his heart. So the Brahmana recognized that Gopakumar's concern is genuine. This boy is genuinely concerned. And he's having an issue. So he thought that it's my duty to express myself. And therefore, he is going to speak. Nava Vaishnava kim kartum daridra shaknuyam param arpayami swabhogyam hi jagat ishaya kevalam. Nava Vaishnava, O new Vaishnava, kim, what? Kartum, what to do? Daridraha, a poor man. Shaknuyam, I can. Param, more. Arpayami, I offer. Swabhogyam, the meal prepared for myself. He, indeed, Jagadishaya, the Lord of the universe, Kevalam only. O new Vaishnava, he said, what more can this poor man do? I can offer to the Lord of the universe only the meals I prepare for myself. The Brahmana who lived near the Ganga Ghat thought, if this cowherd boy has ever seen a Brahmana like me worshipping Shalagram Shila, has never seen a Brahmana like me worshipping a Shalagram Shila, he must be new to spiritual life. So therefore he called him Nava Vaishnava. But even though he recognized that this boy is new to spiritual life, but he did not say, or he did not give some reason to him which is false. He did not try to maintain some false prestige because he was naturally humble. He genuinely spoke the truth to him. He said, I'm poor man, I'm Daridra. I don't have anything. I hardly get meals for myself to cook. And whatever I get, and I cook for myself, I offer it to the Lord. This is my means. I cannot go beyond my means. I am limited to my means. So therefore, this is what I can do. What can I do? Kim kartum? What to do? So I just offered simple things to Krishna. I can't offer some elaborate things to Krishna. So in this connection, there is a nice comment in 10th canto in the discussion in the pastime of Sudama Brahmana. That Sudama Brahmana was very poor, and his wife, she told him, see, you don't have anything to eat also, and I can't tolerate your situation like this, that you don't even have anything to eat. Your body is so emaciated that bones and veins are visible from your body. As a chaste wife, how can I tolerate this condition? You please go to Krishna and ask him for something. He is your friend. Sudama was not very much interested. Anyway, his wife convinced him, and Sudama thought that his wife is so much worried, so he has to do something about her. And simply out of compassion for his wife, he went to see Krishna. So, when Krishna saw Sudama's condition, it's explained by our Acharya that Krishna was actually thinking, Are, he is praying to me, why he is so poor? How come I didn't notice that he is so poor? Krishna is thinking like that. Then the reconciliation is given by the Acharyas. They are saying that there are two types of devotees of the Supreme Lord. That one type of devotee is inimical to sense gratification. The other type of devotee is indifferent to sense gratification. So there are two types of devotees. So, like a person like this Brahmana or Sudama himself, they were inimical to sense gratification. Krishna Thakur also gives the example of Jadabharata. Jadabharata, he did not, even though he was born in Brahmin family, he did not learn anything about the Vedas from his father. He did not try to get into a stable occupation. Rather, he actually presented himself to the material world like a madman. And whatever they used to tell him, he used to do without any complaint. And sometimes they used to give him stale food, not so good food. He just ate whatever they gave, he simply ate. So people like devotees like such person, such Jadabharata or Sudama Brahmana, or for that matter, this Brahman here, they are inimical to sense gratification. They want to keep themselves poor. They don't want to have sense gratification. So Krishna does not force sense gratification on them. Then there are people who are indifferent to sense gratification, like Yudhishthira Maharaj. He is indifferent to sense gratification. When Yudhishthira Maharaj wants to do Rajasuya Yajna, what was his purpose of doing Rajasuya Yajna? It was not his purpose that, okay, I should do Rajasuya Yajna. I should do something for my forefathers, or I should establish myself as the emperor. That was all not his purpose. He had one purpose. What was his purpose? He was thinking that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. All these kings who are demoniac, they are not actually recognizing his supremacy. So if I do Rajasuya Yajna, then all demigods will come there, and I will offer Agra Puja to Krishna. All great sages will come there. all demigods will come there, great sages will come there. In the grand assembly, I'll offer Agra Puja. Agra Puja means the first puja, or the first worship which is offered to the most respectable person in the whole assembly, including the sages, brahmanas, kshatriyas, everybody. Who is the most respected person in the whole assembly? So he wanted to offer that puja to Krishna. And in front of all the demoniac kings, he wanted to show that how all the brahmanas and sages actually approved that Krishna is the most respectable person. So he wanted to establish Krishna's infallible position. So therefore he wanted to do Rajasya again. Of course, doing Rajasya again is not easy. It's a very complicated task. But he had the ways and means to do it, and he was not attached to whatever name or fame which comes by doing Rajasya Yajna, or the position of emperor which comes by doing Rajasya Yajna. He was not attached to all those things. He was simply thinking that I want to do this Rajasya Yajna because I want to prove that Krishna is supreme. Same way Prahlad, he accepted kingdom, he accepted family life. 5-year-old boy, he is telling his father, Hitvatma padam grihamanda kupam vanam gatoyat darimashrayata. That give up this family life, which is like did dark well. Go to forest. This is good for you. This is good for you. My dear father, this is the best treatment for you. He's telling. But he himself gets married. And Nrsimhadev tells him, rule the kingdom, get married, have family, enjoy all the riches. Why? Because the Supreme Lord knows that he is indifferent to sense gratification. Like Yudhishthira, like Prahlad. So, these Brahmanas, they are poor by their own desire. By their design, they are poor. They are inimical to sense gratification. They don't want sense gratification. In fact, Sudama did not know that Krishna has made him rich. Because when Sudama was in Krishna's house, that night, the whole transformation took place. His hut became a big, beautiful palace, and his wife, from being a very mild or very thin, dried up, emaciated lady, she became very youthly, with nice, beautifully formed body, full of ornaments and everything. So she slept as a poor woman, and she got up as a very opulent woman who has opulences more than Indra and Brahma. So all that happened overnight. And Sudama did not know that these things have happened, because Krishna did not change Sudama's appearance, because Krishna wanted Sudama's wife to recognize him, because Sudama is not going to recognize his wife. So at least Sudama's wife should recognize Sudama. So therefore, Krishna kept Sudama as the same lean, emaciated, dirty person. So Sudama, when he was going back, he was very satisfied having met Krishna. And he was even more satisfied that Krishna did not offer him any wealth. Because he was thinking, Krishna knows me very well. If I get some wealth, I'll simply engage in sense gratification, and I'll forget Krishna. So therefore, Krishna has kept me poor. It's very good. It's a nice idea. Krishna is very merciful for me. He kept me nicely poor. Now that I've seen Krishna, there's nothing to worry for me. I can just keep this experience and live happily for the rest of my life. But of course, when he came back and he saw everything had changed. So it's not that these Brahmanas are suffering by being poor. They like to be poor. They want to be poor. Of course, in modern world, it's very difficult to understand these things that why would someone want to be poor? Mm. And it's also not very good preaching that you come to Krishna consciousness, you can be poor. It's not good preaching. We can't preach to people like this. And you come to Krishna consciousness and you can be poor. But one practical lesson we can learn from this is that we should, in our own setup, we should live a simple life. To the extent it is possible, we should live a life which is simple and uncomplicated. That's very important to advance in Krishna consciousness. Even though Prabhupada did not ask us to become poor, rather Prabhupada said that wherever Krishna is there, devotees will always be well maintained. Prabhupada always said that devotees will always be well maintained. There will be no shortage. Devotees will be well maintained. But at the same time, Prabhupada asked us to be simple living, high thinking. Prabhupada wanted. So that's some practical lesson we can take from this Brahmanas. Poverty and humility. Two important lessons we take from this Brahmana. Poverty and humility. That to the extent possible, we should simplify our life. We should very carefully observe our lifestyle. We should carefully observe our possessions. We should carefully observe what we have, what we don't have. And then we should just try to give up unwanted things. The more we keep them, the more we become attached. Sometimes we may think that these things are very harmless. What is there? I keep two dhoti. What is there? It's harmless. We may think like that. But the more we keep them, the more we get attached. So therefore, we should try to simplify our life. And that's a continuous process. In one stage, it depends on which stage of life we are in. In some stage, we may have to expand facilities. In some stage, we may have to contract facilities. There's no problem in expanding facility mostly because that is okay. People try to expand facility as much as they have and as much as they can afford to. They try to expand the facility. But the problem generally comes in contracting the facility when the facility is no longer required. But that's a very important thing that we should also give up facilities which are not required. And we should not hesitate to contract our facilities practically. For example, when we are living Grahastha life, then we may require a big flat, we may require a few rooms because children are there and they are studying and they are doing various things. But generally in Kali Yuga, after some time children grow up and then they leave home. And once they leave home, it's very unlikely that they'll come back because they will just go on their own way. They will take their own path. They will get their own career, go on their own path. So then, do we require such a big home, which we had at the time of having all children at home? Or that big home is just simply a liability? We need to think about these things. And then if needed, or if not needed, we should give up such big home, get into smaller place, simplify our life practically. As much as possible, uncomplicated life we should try to live. So Brahmanas lived uncomplicated life. So in consequence of that uncomplicated life, they had a lot of time to do devotional service. Like Prabhupada explains in Leelamrita about the Brahmin family, which he used to live in Allahabad, in Prayag, when he was having his pharmacy. So there's a Brahmin couple who would get up early in the morning, do all their chores and pray to the Lord. And Throughout the morning, they used to offer all their prayers and everything until lunchtime. And then cook some lunch and have. And then in the evening time, open a small shop which sells eatables. And then make some money through that, that small shop. And then maintain themselves. So this is quite important, that we live a simple life. Sometimes life becomes like holding the tiger by tail, that you hold on to something and then it just keeps going on. So this Brahman is living very, very simple life, because then he can have a lot of time to do whatever he wants. But he also understood that what Gopakumar wants to see. So therefore, he is giving him good guidance. What he is telling, Yadi Pudotsavam tasya vaibhavam cha didikshase tataitad desharajasya Vishnu pujanuraginaha maha sado purim yahi vartamanam adurataha tatra sakshat samikshasva durdarsham jagadishwaram. Yadi, if puja of worship, utsavam, great festival, tasya, his vaibhavam, opulence, cha, and didikshase, you are eager to see, tada, then etat, this desarajasya, the ruler of this country, Vishnu puja, to the worship of Lord Vishnu, anuraginaha, who has loving attraction, mahasado, very saintly, Purim, unto the capital city, yahi, go, vartamanam, present, adurataha, not far away, tatra, there, sakshat, directly, samikshasva, just see, durdarsham, very difficult to see, Jagadishwaram, the Lord of the universe. So, he not only understood his concern, but he also understood what this boy wants. This boy is very eager to see Lord getting worshipped very opulently. So therefore, simply out of great compassion, he directed that boy that you please go to this place, go to the king's place, and then you can see the worship of the Lord being very elaborately and opulently being done to a heart's content. You just go there. So if you are eager to see the worship of Lord's opulence and great festival of his worship, please go to the capital city of this country's very saintly ruler. He's attached to the worship of Lord Vishnu with great love. You'll find his city not far away, and there you can behold the Lord of Universe, who is so difficult to see. Commentary. The king of this district on the shore of Ganga was sincere Vaishnava, which made him great saint than any karmi, jnani or ordinary yogi. He worshipped the deity of Vishnu with festive opulence. If Gopakumar liked, he could go to the capital and see for himself this king's wonderful worship. He could see the Lord's beauty, rich offerings made to the Lord, and his luxurious sleeping quarters. The opulences of the king's deity are much more readily visible than those of poor Brahmana's Saligram Shila. The Lord is happy with the poor Brahmana also. The Lord is happy with the king also. Because the Lord simply sees what can be offered. In Sudama Brahmana's pastime, there is one very beautiful shloka where in Bhagavatam it says, the Lord, when a devotee offers him something which is beyond his means, the Lord becomes so obliged that the Lord thinks that whatever he has to offer, this is insignificant. Offer back to the devotee is insignificant. But whatever insignificant thing the devotee does, the Lord takes it as something very big, very, very big. So, Sudama, he actually brought some flat rice, very simple flat rice he brought. It was not some significant thing. But what did Krishna consider? Krishna considered, my friend has brought me some flat rice. And first of all, this fellow doesn't have anything to eat. And he has brought this flat rice by borrowing from somebody. So first of all, he doesn't have the means to offer anything to me. Then just to simply to offer to me, he puts himself in obligation and he brings something which is beyond his means. So the Lord is thinking, then I should also do same thing. I should also give something beyond my means to him. But the irony is, what is beyond God's means? There's nothing which is beyond God's means. Everything is possible for the God. That's why he is God. So therefore, Krishna thinks that whatever I give, that reciprocation is not adequate. Because I have not matched his mood in giving me a gift. I have not matched my devotee's mood in giving me a gift. So therefore, Krishna is thinking that, oh, my reciprocation is not so significant. It's not so adequate. Even if I make him Brahma, or even if I give him opulence greater than Brahma and Indra put together, but still this is within my means. I can do it. But this fellow gave me flat rice which is beyond his means. He can't do it, but still he did it. So, therefore, for Krishna, opulent worship or simple worship doesn't make any difference. What makes difference is that what is the mood with which the worship is offered. And here, the Brahmana is telling that not only is the worship opulent, but that worship is also offered with great love. He is saying that it's just not, that worship is not just something which is made for the show. Anurag, but it is Anuraginaha, who has loving attraction. He is in Raga. He is in Raga. He has that attraction to the Lord, Anuraginaha. Like Daksha was doing Yajna. In fourth canto of Bhagavatam, it is explained how Daksha was doing Yajna. Daksha was doing Yajna, and it was very, very opulent Yajna. All the demigods came, and so many sages came. Such a great arrangement for doing the Yajna. And so many things has been arranged for doing the Yajna. Daksha was doing Yajna. But for Daksha, that whole Yajna was simply an expansion of his false ego. It's simply a show of, please see how great I am. Please see how great I am. So, therefore, the result of that yajna was Daksha got goathead. That's the result of Daksha's yajna. He did not get love of Godhead. Rather, he got goathead. So, therefore, the Brahmana is addressing both concerns of Gopakumar. He is telling that, see, my worship is also genuine, but it's not opulent. I have just offered according to my means. And I also treat the Lord according to my means. So since you are concerned about the treatment the Lord is receiving in my hands, and since I already explained to you my condition, but still, if you want to see something which is wonderful, which you will appreciate, then you go to the capital city, you go and visit the king, and you see how he is worshipping. First of all, he has love for Krishna. Then, second is, he worships according to his means, which is full of opulence, which is full of fantastic offerings, which is full of many wonderful things, which is exactly what you want to see. So you go there, you can see. Go there, you can see. Here, the opulence is not visible. That doesn't mean that it is not there. It doesn't mean it's not there. That's what here in the commentary, Gopipanda Prabhu is writing that the opulences of king's deity were much more readily visible than those of poor Brahmana Saligram Shila. Sorry, I have a very bad throat. That's why I'm trying to chew some ginger so it doesn't get so much disturbed. But still sometimes it gets ginger. It gets disturbed. So that brings us to some interesting question that what is the real opulence of worship? Any thought? What is the real opulence of worship? When someone worships the Lord, what is the real opulence of worship?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
As you were just saying, the Lord's opulence can never be matched. So the best that we can do is see whatever best we can offer. So within our means or to the best extent that possibly that we can do, we can try and do our best. So there cannot be a limit to how good the worship can be offered. Isn't it?
Yeah. The real opulence of worship is
Love and devotion, Prabhuji.
yeah, it's a love and devotion of the person who actually offers the worship. That's the real opulence of worship. One may offer simple thing, one may offer great thing. So this verse, Patram Pusham Phalam Toyam, Yome Bhaktya Prayachati, Tadaham Bhakti Upakritam, Tashnami Priyatatmanaha. This verse also comes in Sudama Brahmana's pastime. Krishna himself speaks that verse there also. He tells Sudama Brahmana, you know I have spoken in Bhagavad Gita. I said Patram Pusham Phalam Toyam. God speaks the whole verse. Because Sudama, he brought the flat rice and he is not giving to Krishna. Krishna is asking, did you bring something for me? Sudama is just smiling. Krishna is looking at that flat rice which is tied in the rags, and it is tied to Sudama's waist. He is looking at that and he is showing it by his eyes, and then he is asking, did you bring something for me? And Sudama is still keeping his head down. He is not answering. So then Krishna is saying, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadaham Bhakti Upakritam Ashnami Priyatatmanaha. See, I already made it clear that even by simple things I can be satisfied. So do you have something for me? So in commentary to that verse, our Acharyas have explained that Krishna uses the word Ashnami in that verse, which means that he wants to eat. But that is not applicable to all the things which are listed by him. For example, the flower is meant to be smelt. It is not meant to be eaten. But the Acharyas are saying that Krishna becomes so ecstatic by the loving offering of the devotee that Krishna eats the flower also. That's why he used the word Ashnami, that I'll eat the flower also. So anyway, because the Brahmana understood that that Gopakumar he has his desire to see some very elaborate worship. So therefore, he told him, please go there. He said, Purakam Mahanandam Sarvata Anubhavishyasi Idanim Yetya Madhyehe Bhangshva Vishnu Niveditam. Hrit, your heart, Purakam, Purakam, which will fill Maha Ananda, great ecstasy. Sarvata, in all respects, Anubhavishyasi, you will experience. Idanim, now, Yetya, coming. Mat, my, Gehe, in the house. Pungshva, please eat. Vishnu Niveditam, remnants of food offered to Vishnu. You will feel great ecstasy, fulfilling all your heart's desires. But for now, please come, have lunch in my house from the remnants of what has been offered to Vishnu. You see, this Brahmana is such a nice man. That he is so nice that even though he said that I am Daridra, I am a very poor man, but he was not Daridra in extending his hospitality. He was Daridra by lifestyle, but not in heart. In Kali Yuga, people are not Daridra by lifestyle, but they are Daridra by heart. So this is the difference between this Brahmana and Kali Yuga people. He confessed, I am very poor. And he also said, I only cook to the extent that I eat, because that's what I can afford. Previously, he said that also. But now, he is telling Gopakumar that you please come at my home. I'll give you some Vishnu Prasad. You eat and then you go. So, the way this Brahmana treated Gopakumar has many lessons for us to learn. From beginning, we can see that he did not ignore him. He did not mock his ignorance. He did not take offense of Gopakumar finding fault with his way of worship. Rather, he felt accountable to explain himself to Gopakumar's question. He did not become angry. He was not dismissive. He was very humble. He spoke the truth. And he also understood Gopakumar's concern. And he also gave a way to resolve that concern. He did not take Gopakumar's concern very lightly. He took it seriously. And then he gave a way to resolve that concern. And then, in spite of all his lack of wealth and simple life, he extended his hospitality to Gopakumar. And he invited him home. He told him, please come and eat and go. So, this is how Vaishnava is. That the Vaishnava always cares for other person. He is full of compassion. He doesn't get angry. He cares for other person. And he is always a well-wishing friend of everyone. And somehow or other, he feels that everyone should take to Krishna's lotus feet. So therefore, the Brahmana, he gives him good direction. And he also gives him an invitation. Commentary. Gopakumara will certainly feel bliss if he witnesses the opulence of Vishnu deity in the royal city, hears the song and prayers recited for the pleasure of the Lord, and tastes the remnants of the food offered to the Lord. The Brahmana admits that devotees who have pure love for the Lord prefer to see him worshipped in a suitable opulence, the opulence that he, a poor man, cannot provide for his own deity. Gopakumar should therefore at once go to the capital. But before he goes, he should have lunch in the Brahmana's house, where he can taste what little rice and other items has been offered this morning to the Brahmana's Shalagram deity. You see, here it is pointed out that the Brahmana accepted that Gopakumar's devotion is of higher standard than his own devotion. The Brahmana admits that devotees who have pure love for the Lord prefer to see him worshipped with suitable opulence. The opulence that he, a poor man, cannot provide for his own deity. The Brahmana admitted, even though the Brahmana called Gopakumar as Nava Vaishnava, new Vaishnava, but he is saying, you are new Vaishnava, but the standard of your devotion is much higher than the standard of my devotion. That the very fact that you cannot tolerate the Lord not being worshipped properly, and the fact that I have been worshipping the Lord like this throughout my life, it shows that you have higher standard of devotion than myself. So, Brahmana's mood is exemplary. Of course, everyone Gopakumar encounters, their mood is exemplary. That's why this book is such a nice book. In one sense, there's a parallel between Gopakumar's journey and Narada's journey. I think that was explored in the preface of this book. Both of them meet all exalted personalities. But one thing which is common about all these exalted personalities is that none of these exalted personalities admit themselves to be exalted. They all think that the other person is more exalted. And here, Gopakumar is thinking, this Brahmana is thinking that, oh, Gopakumar is better than me. He's a new boy, but he's better than me. And he's genuinely happy for it. Genuinely happy for it. So it's a good lesson for us that sometimes we may, because we are in the preaching movement, and then we may be preaching, and we may spend some time. Because we spend some time and we have some gray hair, sometimes you may get branded as some senior person or something like that. It may happen. Or we ourselves may get into the delusion of being a senior person because we spent few years in Krishna consciousness. And then when the person who joins, when he is very enthusiastic and genuinely concerned or genuinely want to progress in Krishna consciousness, we may simply fail to appreciate such person's genuine enthusiasm. And that's not good. That's not good. So here we can see that the Brahmana not only appreciates Gopakumar's enthusiasm, but he also considers him someone who is better than him. So this is Brahmana's response. Tadvachanindito gatva suditopi tad alayam tam pranamya tad uddishta vartamanatam purimagam. That his vacha, by the words, anandita, delighted, agatva, not going, shuditaha, hungry, happy, although, that his alayam, to the house, tam, to him, pranamya, bowing down, that by him, uddishta, indicated, vartamana, along the road, tam, to that Purim, city, agam, I went. So, Gopakumara's enthusiasm is also something which is very contagious. So, he was hungry, but he did not care for taking prasad. He thought that if if Vishnu is getting worshipped opulently in some place, better to go there and see, rather than to waste any more time trying to satisfy this hunger and the demand of the body. Just let me just go and see that place. So he was very happy. And before leaving, he offered obeisance to the Brahmana. So Gopakumar repeatedly prostrated himself before the Brahmana with great devotion. Here to explain, he repeatedly prostrated himself, not once. Repeatedly he prostrated himself, which is very good, very nice. He did this partly to beg pardon for declining the Brahmana's invitation, and partly to beg blessings for an auspicious journey. See, both of them are important. Both of them are important. So, the Brahmana has already extended him an invitation. He is declining that invitation, which is not good. So, therefore, he begged pardon. And he also sought blessings for auspicious journey. Both of them are important. Both of them are important. Like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to leave to South India, then he wanted to take blessings from everybody in Puri. And nobody wanted to leave the Lord. So they were all giving some excuse or other. And they were not letting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu go. And months together passed like this. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also very patiently he waited for everybody to give his blessings. He did not say that, oh, I don't need your blessing. I'll just go. I'm Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He doesn't need anybody's blessings. He can go. But he showed the importance of getting the blessings of Vaishnavas in their pastime. And how important is the blessing of Vaishnavas. That whenever we try to do something, we should worship Vaishnavas and try to get their blessings so that our endeavor will become successful. Otherwise, if there's no Vaishnava blessing, then the endeavor may not succeed. It will not succeed. Therefore, he not only begged pardon from him for declining his invitation, which is proper etiquette, he also sought his blessings for going to the capital city. Okay, we'll stop here. Any questions, comments? We'll stop the class at 5:30. So, for those who joined late, the class timing is changed because I have another class starting at 6 o'clock. So I told Vidvan Gauranga Prabhu that I can't do it from 4:30 to 6, which was the original time, because then there's no time to switch over from one class to other. And I generally like to be in place on time. So I said that I could do from 4 to 5:30, and then that gives me half an hour to switch over to the other class. So we agreed, and then today in the Telegram it was posted that the class will be from 4 to 5:30. But maybe some of you didn't notice, or maybe you have habit of coming late. I don't know. I don't want to disturb anything with this class. Whatever way it is going, it's fine. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to rock the boat. But in case you did not know that the class is going to start at 4 o'clock, so next week onwards, the class will start at 4 o'clock. We will have class between 4 to 5:30. Okay. Any questions, comments, anything you have to say or you want to ask?
Thank you for a very wonderful class, Prabhuji. It was nice. The pace at which you're going is nice to listen to as well. Thank you for that. And apologies that we were not all in attendance at the start of the class, but thank you for your class. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Anyway, I also wanted to read this book for a long time. I did not get opportunity. And then Vidvan Gauranga said, I read this before, but I didn't read it in full. I read in parts, and I didn't give enough time to read. So I thought it was a good opportunity to read the book along with all of you. So simply out of selfishness, I took up this. Anyway, it's good. Okay, so we can stop since we don't have any comments, questions. We can stop today and then we'll meet next week. The class will be between 4 to 5:30. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bhagavad Bhagavatamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much.